Hmm.
How are you moving people through your business? How are you making them feel by interacting with your brand before they even have a conversation with you? What is the experience that your business is creating for someone? And so those are the questions I like to ask and then be able to create, the strategies from there, whether that's like, okay, let's create an email campaign that helps to bring the energy, the essence, the story of your brand to people in their inboxes that maybe, leads to them signing up for your thing, whatever it is. And so yeah, I don't have a direct answer, to that generally speaking, but I
Hmm.
think I almost respond to that question with more questions for people to ask themselves before they, choose to really lean into their marketing hard.
So let me ask you this then. What do you think that entrepreneurs get wrong about the marketing industry and when and who to actually work with?
Mm. Funny enough, I tend to see entrepreneurs almost get too caught up in the marketing
Mm,
first. Like they worry about having the most beautiful brand or having the perfect website. And that's even before they've like sold anything. Like I see that so often with clients that first come to me. And it's like,
hmm.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, let's try selling some things like first and like make sure this that your product actually works or your service actually works and there's momentum being built on it. So I
Hmm.
think I often see that people get distracted by marketing first instead of using it as a tool in their toolbox, and so I'm definitely, I think, a sales first person, then a marketing person. And so it's like, how do you leverage the beauty of marketing into your sales strategy? Because if you're not making business or making money in your business, it's just a hobby, And so we have to let that drive us and then use the tools that are available to help reach that goal that you have in front of you.
Okay. So let me be a little bit more specific then, right?
Yeah,
I remember our conversation like it was yesterday because I was very much intrigued by some of the responses you
sure.
gave, right? So number one, the questions that you shared with me um, were like eye opening, right? At the time when I met with you, you know, I've built a sales organization within the B2B space. And you hit the nail right on the head, right? The first thing is, do you have a viable product? Do you have a viable service that you're providing that people are actually acquiring? Because you can have quote unquote the most smacking marketing in the world, but if there's nothing behind it, you're not going to earn
Yeah,
anything, right?
yeah.
Um, so in my mind, I was thinking, okay, so I started out as a team of me. I'm at a team of we. We're generating revenues on a consistent basis. We have these systems in place, right? And we're making an impact in the community. Like we're helping business owners level up. We're
Yeah.
helping people launch, thrive. We're helping people become employers. We're doing all these different things. And in my mind, I was thinking, okay, the biggest challenge is um, it's one of those things like if you're not in the forest and the tree falls, do you really hear it? And I
Mm,
was like, I know I've reached a point where we're doing good work. We're generating revenues. Our partners are thriving, doing well, but not enough people know about us, right?
mm.
I almost think about it like if I had a phenomenal business downtown Detroit or Birmingham or Chicago or Dallas or Charlotte or Atlanta, the business could be doing incredible. But if there's no signage
Mm.
outside where you can find us, right, we're just going to be limited in terms of the capacity to scale. And in
Yeah.
my mind, I was thinking, okay, that's why I need someone to help out marketing because not enough
Mm.
people know about us,
Yeah.
right? So for a business owner to reach that point, right? Because I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs. That's the stage that they're at.
Yeah.
Um, what's the approach they should take in terms of working with a professional like yourself? Like, where can you specifically add value to help business
Hmm.
understand why marketing consultants are important?
Yeah. Well, I think almost you answered your own question in a way of I heard between the lines of what you're saying, we just need
Mm-hmm.
more brand awareness. Like that feels important because we're doing well like interpersonally with people, but we want to open the doors wider to let people know that we're here to invite them in. And so for your specific case and for any case, I think there's so many arrays of options for things. I think that looks like one physically, if there's someone has a physical space, what their outside, space looks like, what their interior experience of their building looks like. Your building is a marketing communication within itself. So taking a look at what is the design of that, what is that communicating to your digital front doors, with social media, with Google, with how are you reaching people, what are people experiencing. And so I think that includes messaging and story. I think that includes design. I think that includes, okay, how do we want people to think and feel about us and be attracted to us, to know that
Mhm.
before they even read a dang thing, just by the vibe we're getting off that we, intentionally curate behind the scenes, people are going to be like, oh, those are my people, like those are for me. I want to learn more. We all do that. Like when we're scrolling on our phone, we'll see like one post pop up on our Instagram and be like, oh, what's that? Like, I'm into that, and click further, right? So there's a psychology behind it, and it's taking the time to really ask, like, who is our target person? What like attracts them to us, and what do we need to create so there's an aligned, synergy before we even have a conversation with them. And so and there are really so many, options in order to do that. I think also what comes to mind is partnerships and thinking through. I love riding on the coattails of other brands and other people that are phenomenal, that are an aligned, both ways. It feels like an aligned partnership, because that's such a way to, one, get out of your own echo chamber of the people you've been maybe talking to for a long time, and building those referrals through and all of that, because now you get to ride on the coattails of their audience and them for vice versa. So thinking through, what does that look like, to create a partnership with whom, what kind of campaign, what does that type of offer look like, in marketing in that sort of way as well. I would also include